The first thing that just comes out to mind is how appreciative a lot of the staff that are involved in these schools, how appreciative they are, uh, because they see the effects that it has on their students, and the students either come back or the way that they were describing it. Anytime service projects are done there, the students come back, give their reactions, give their responses, or even the students that were there. I remember speaking actually to the principal of one of the schools there, and he was just so overwhelmingly thankful for the work that we did, for the time we volunteered. So it was really impactful seeing how much of a real difference. Which, I mean, to me personally, I was like, well, I'm just cleaning up a playground. Really, is what I saw it as. But he sees it as these people are investing their time in making our school better, making our school safer, make whatever you may have it, making our school a place that the students feel they can come to and feel safe and enjoy and learn, and really just making a difference. So it was like I said, a very impactful and meaningful time to be there and hear from the staff of the school that we were really actually making a difference. I'd say probably the biggest and my favorite as well was I was involved 2 years ago. Actually, twice I did this event. Was through Young Life. We have this. It's a trip that we take to Rocky Point in Mexico. It's just south of the border, and we actually build houses in extremely impoverished neighborhoods in Rocky Point, and it was a great experience because we went with a group of I think it was 60 to maybe 80 people, maybe less. I don't know. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but it was a pretty large group there. And we go there, and we went with people from ASU, people that had never been to Young Life, just kind of were interested in building a house for someone and giving back. And so it was a great experience of bonding. We all sort of realized that there's more to life than our little existence in Phoenix, and in our goals to make something of ourselves in the little amount of time that we have on this planet. And it was just cool because we're there, people helping people. We're just very simple in our efforts. We didn't have any grandiose plans of any sort. We just went there with a common goal to help these people build a house for them, provide them with some shelter, something that they hadn't enjoyed, which was just mind-boggling to the majority of us who were so used to, we have a house all the time. We've never wondered whether or not we were going to eat. And I mean, this neighborhood was very, very poor, very impoverished, and it lived in a lot pretty much that was just dirt and sand. And we just built a house for them, and just seeing their faces during the project, making friends with us, trying to help, doing everything they could to help out, and so thankful. At the end of the trip, they're just in tears, thanking us for this house and how we've changed their lives forever. And to us, it seemed like, well, this is just a little shanty house that we built with, a couple of walls of wood and that was it. But to them, it was just an oasis, almost an answer to prayer as well. So not only was it great to see that sort of reaction that we had with them, but at the same time, it was great to just bond with people that you never even met, people that were just there for the first time, and just all of us just so excited to help someone in need. And it was really crazy just seeing us at the end of the trip. We come back, and all of us were together, and we bonded, we hung out afterwards. And it's, a lot of them actually just started going to Young Life because of that. So it was a great sort of experience, and a really memorable one. And we do it every year, and I'm planning on going again this year. So as far as the things that you do in your community, I think oftentimes people forget about where they live and the people that they impact. And it kind of always brings me to, and I'm probably going to ruin this quote, but I'll go and try for it. It was something that Mother Teresa had said. They had asked her, I think it was an interview that they were doing with her, and they asked her something about, should we all just, kind of quit our jobs and go to Calcutta or, somewhere random and do mission work. And And her response in that was, no, 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 stay in your community. Like for me, my community was Calcutta, and this is where I saw the need, and this is my home, and this is where I helped. And she's like, find your Calcutta. And again, I don't know if that's exactly what she'd said, but something to those effects. She'd said, find your Calcutta, find where it is that you can help and what it is that you do, and it starts with where you live. Maybe it is building a house in Phoenix. I know there are those opportunities, but maybe it's something small that, just like cleaning up a park, or going to serve some people that are in need for food. Doing something at home, because it's easy to kind of take these trips and these extravagant, mission trips, and do some good, and then come back home and be like, oh, I feel satisfied. I kind of like check that box off of like, all right, I'm set, and maybe wait till next year, and then I'll get some money again, and then we'll take another trip. But it shouldn't stop there. It should actually start, I even think, with in your own place, and to see the need around you, and see the people that are near you that have need, and have less than you. It may not be as impoverished as maybe some of the places in Calcutta, but at the same time, it's there, and they have a need, and they're people that are in need, and they have less than you, and they're less fortunate than you, and you've been blessed with just an abundance of stuff, or things, or money, or whatever, compared to them, and it's good to give back of those resources, because it'd just be a shame for you to just hoard that all to yourself. So it's good to get involved in these things, like I was just saying about finding your community, and doing work there, because I mean, there's an obvious need for people in your community, but at the same time, there's things that in your community are going to build yourself up and your group up. And this is, from what I understand, is what you're saying. It's a something to feed people outside of our community. Is that what I'm understanding? So I mean, even though it's not benefiting your community, you're having an opportunity to build up together, and continue on the path that you just started, whether it be doing good in your community, but as well you continue to do good outside of it. Like I said, you want to start, I think, where you are, and start with helping the people around you. But at the same time, it shouldn't stop to be like, all right, well, there's also a need outside of our community, and there's people that are even worse off maybe than the ones in our community that are apparently bad off. And it's good to help, like do everything you can, I think. I think for you to just kind of give the excuse of, oh, I did this once a month, or whatever. I think it'd be great to do these once a month, but then I think it'll get people in the habit of saying, hey man, maybe I'm gonna devote my Saturdays to doing this. Maybe I'll devote maybe a Saturday or a Sunday or something. It gets you in the habit of giving of yourself, which, I mean, you see the effects in yourself. I know when I came back from that trip to Mexico, building a house, I mean, I came back changed, and it lasted for a couple months or something like that. You kind of like, oh man, what a change it had in me, and I can't believe the good and everything that came, not just for them, but for me, and how it changed how I look at life. But I mean, at some point that begins to fade, and you get used to your everyday living, and you maybe work about, you worry about your job or your school, or a quota you have to hit or something. Like you kind of get lost in your own life, and the things that really at the end of the day almost don't even matter, because you could probably find another job or whatever it may be. But it's good to go back and continue a habit of being involved in community service projects all the time, and helping out with whatever way you can, because that at the end of the day is going to be what really alters your life, and what really changes, in my opinion at least, is really going to make you feel different. It's going to bring meaning to your life, I think, than more so than how much money you made that year. Doing that. And I was a freshman when I did it, freshman in college, when I started really getting involved in service projects, and it really just starts changing your outlook on how you see the people around you and the blessings that you have. It helps you totally not take anything for granted, and really gives you a perspective on how much you've been blessed. But it just really is life-changing, especially when you start that young, because when you start that young, it's it creates this sort of like habit and this mold in your life and this desire uh, to keep helping and to keep, and you just become a better citizen of the world, if you put it, in a certain way.